welcome to my channel. My name is Jew, and I want to thank you for clicking on my face. Today I'm talking about the series premiere of ABC's new show, Queens. If y'all are not hip, it stars Eve, it stars Brandy, it stars Naturi Naughton, and it also stars this Puerto Rican woman who is doing a really good job, but I didn't know who she was, Nadia Velasquez. If you have not seen the promotion for said show, they released an amazing music video ahead of the show's premiere for the show's song. I think it might be the theme song. I'm not really sure. But the song is called Nasty Girl. It's a bop. I have it in my Apple Music library, and you should too. Poom poom nanny nanny, my nanny dripped in gold. Yes, God, Eve, I know that's right. So we open with Eve's character, Brianna, whose stage name is Professor Sex, also known as P Sex. And we see her part, her verse. It's amazing because, of course, we know Eve can rap her ass off, right? We wouldn't expect anything less. And then we cut to her in her current life with her 5 kids and her piece of shit husband. When we open the show, we think her husband's this lovely guy, he has migraines, he's not working. So like, okay, he's just trying to get back on his feet. Once he's good, he's going to be great. We like this guy. We like the little king and queen, supporting each other type of vibe. That shit didn't last long, did it? But anyways, 5 beautiful kids. Beautiful. Like, the kids they casted, really beautiful. But also, like, dude, these 2 people make these 5 kids. We gotta talk about how Hollywood casts black families, because the genetics just be kind of possible, but not realistic. Alright, so from there we cut to Jill, who is played by Naturi Naughton. Jill, formerly known as Jill the Thrill, and she's in confession because she has become the holy roller. She is become, I think, Salt. Because I think Salt is the one from Salt and Pepper who caught God and was like, I can't do my music no more. So Jill is at confessional, and she lets her pastor know, like, yo, I've been avoiding having sex with my husband, and I'm in love with somebody else. I'm having an affair. And she wants to say something else, but she can't quite get it out. And that's the moment that we know that Jill is gay, because if you can tell your pastor that you're having an affair, the only thing that you, like, either you killed somebody or you was gay. Like, as a Catholic, I think that was, like, the only 2 things that you wouldn't be able to say to your pastor after you, like, I'm having an affair and I'm in love with someone else. So, that let us know right there. Gay. Moving on. Then we got Butter Pecan Puerto Rican. That's what lets me know that she Puerto Rican. Because Butter Pecan, ain't that what the Puerto Ricans is? Black people be caramel. Puerto Ricans be Butter Pecan. Alright, so Butter Pecan's real name is Valeria, and this is the character played by Nadia Velasquez. Her verse on the song is, it's the verse that you would expect of the token light-skinned Puerto Rican in the 90s group. We'll come back to, if you know what I meant by that, then we'll get back to that later down in the show. If you didn't catch the meaning of that, well, then you'll find out when we get to later down in the show. So we catch her. She's now a daytime TV show host, and we see that she has been look like she's getting pushed out of the show slowly. But I thought it was because she was on drugs, because she was pouring something into her cup, and I was like, ooh, baby, you on drugs? That's maybe why you're not doing good at work. You might want to handle that. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was not at all prepared for what was actually going on with that. Valeria is a piece of work. I think I'm going to enjoy getting to, like, see Valeria's character arc. I really think so. She has a long way to go. Then we switch to Brandy's character, Naomi, whose stage name is Explicit Lyrics. The names they had for them. Ugh. But I love Brandy's rapping. Brandy is phenomenal as a rapper. Like, I think her voice is just so suited to it, and also the breath control from her singing, I think, carries over really well. And for me, she had the best verse. I think she's supposed to have the best verse, though. I think it was probably really hard to get Brandy to sign onto the show for some reason. I don't know. But they're treating her like she is the top talent in that show. I don't know. We'll see. Still, it's only the first episode. And if you guys see me over here, I am reading my notes. I'm just trying to catch myself because my attention span is yay big, even when I'm literally just talking essentially to myself. Alright, so like I said, Brandy's rapping is amazing, and then we cut to her present day life. She is in Nashville singing in a small bar. It looks like beautiful song. The vocal Bible was doing what the vocal Bible is supposed to do, and here are these disrespectful little white boys opening their mouth talking about some, ain't you one of them nasty bitches? Because that was the name of the girl group. And Naomi, you see that she just like, oh, they want a nasty bitch. I'll give them a nasty fucking bitch. And she just drops what she was doing and picks up her verse from Nasty Girl, drops the mic, walks off the stage. Clearly very over it all. And Brandy, Naomi, I'm going to try so hard to not call them by their real names and call them by their characters' names. Bear with me if I don't, but I'm going to try. Then we see Eve's character, Brianna. She's picking up her groceries. She's in the parking lot. There's a young couple on her car kissing. And when she breaks them up, and the one guy's like, yo, ain't you from TLC? And his girlfriend, ooh, that girl would have gotten the cart to the ankles. I swear if that was me. Because she said, you think anybody from TLC will be buying prune juice in some dirty sweats? Yeah, I kind of do. I definitely feel like I could catch T-Buys picking up her stuff from Walmart. I do. Not even gonna hold you. I do. And so that's Brianna's cue that she needs to get sexy, and she's gonna go put on her man. She gets a lingerie, red satin robe, and she's walking down the hallway to go put it on her man when she hears him call somebody else the queen. His, like little pet name for her or whatever. And she's like, oh, hell no. So she walks in and catches him in bed with a white woman, y'all. And the girl's like, I'm 1/8 Peruvian. Bitch, you about to be half black and half blue if you don't get the hell out of my house. What are you talking about? 1/8 Peruvian, girl, get out my face. Her husband is sitting there looking the dumbass. And she's pretty much like, I gave up everything for you. Why would you do this to us? Understandably so. And she better not take him back. That's what I do know. So we cut back to Jill, lying about her ovulation because she gay. And then we meet her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is this beautiful stud named Tina. And Tina is not giving her an ultimatum, but letting Jill know, like, I'm not going to wait forever for you to do what you need to do for me to be able to love you out loud. I love you and I want to love you out and loud and be proud of it. But you need to do what you got to do. And so that was really beautiful. And I think the situation there, Jill is a pastor's daughter. She's Catholic. She's married. And she has never, and I think Tina is the first person that she's acted out her lesbianism with. She was a lesbian, but she never lived such a lifestyle, if that makes sense. She was the opposite of an Andrew Caldwell, if you will. So her journey on this show isn't being delivered, it's being freed from the delivery. So yeah, I really like how Tina did that though, because I think offering someone an ultimatum in that situation is really crappy, but you also should not wait around forever for someone to do what they need to do for themselves to allow you all to live the life that you all deserve to live together. So I love how supportive she was, but also firm. Then we cut to Brandy visiting her daughter in Atlanta on her daughter's birthday. Her daughter's like 18, 20 years old, and Naomi has been a deadbeat mom. Her grandmother raised her. Her daughter's name is JoJo, and JoJo does not want to see her, is not letting her in the house, and just reads her for filth, quite frankly, calls her sad and pathetic. Shuts the door in her face, and Naomi's obviously hurt, and we later realized that the song that she was singing in Nashville is actually a song for her daughter and kind of her regrets that she has. We then see Valeria watching her co-host, whose coffee she has spiked in like downward spiral with just racist comments on live national television. The network has also like, that woman can't work in this town again, and Valeria's like, well, I'll step up. You're gonna need a woman of color to right the wrong. And by the way, make sure you give me whatever I want in my contract. And so we see Valeria is clearly a woman about her money, but will kind of do anything to get what she wants and where she wants to go. And later on we find out that, that's more than likely a product of being raised in the foster care system and being told that she would never have anything and being beat up and not being treated well. So we feel a little bit sorry for her by the end, but like not that sorry. We're like, okay, we don't really like you that much right now, but we'll probably love you by the finale of the season. I want to talk about the wigs. The wigs in the show are really, really nicely done. They look really natural, especially the lock wig that Brandy has on. I swear she went back to whoever was doing them wigs for Moesha, because that thing, I ain't never seen no locked or braided wig look that good, to be quite frank with y'all. Moving on. Then we see Bree, she and her 5 kids and her husband are at their dining room table, and she's serving him his mashed potatoes, and he's just acting like nothing happened, and that drives her, like, she's about to snap. You see the look that, if I don't get the hell out of this house, So we see her leave the house. She's shouting. She gets in the car. She turns on the radio, and Nasty Girl is playing. She calls up, I forgot who she calls, but we then see Eric, the group's former manager, approaching Valeria outside her job about getting the group back together. And she's like, why would I want to do that? Like, why are you even here? Apparently they had something going on, and we find out later on that Brandy and Eric had something going on, but it seems like that was secret. But then publicly he had something going on with Valeria. They're obviously gonna make it clearer for us later on, but it seems like that's pretty much what broke up the group. And I am pretty sure that Eric, unbeknownst to him and anybody else other than Naomi, is JoJo's pappy. And especially because, JoJo said when she was reading her mother that she was so reckless with her life that she didn't even know who her father was. But that don't seem fitting to the character that we are getting introduced to. And something that Naomi says later on tells me that Eric is that girl's father. I'm really, really interested to see how that plays out. But moving on. When the girls get together to talk about doing this, Valeria says, she's too good for this. She's not doing it, especially because when Naomi sees her, Naomi that ass up. So she's like, I'm too good for this. Bye. I don't need this. I'm still famous. Fuck y'all. And then we meet Lone Muffins, okay? And Lone Muffins is Eric's new artist. She looks just like every modern female rapper. Colorful hair, kind of pretty thick, cute girl. And she got this white, I don't know what he is, label person, manager, I don't know what he is. But I want to tell you, the men of the show just and we see Jill, and Jill obviously really feels a way about this guy. She's like a straight man just, contorting the women in this industry into whatever image they want them to portray. And we later on see kind of how that really is damaging later on. So the girls are at cocktails. They're having drinky drinks, and everyone except for Valeria and Muffins. I'm sorry, y'all. I just completely blanked. Like, I don't know. My brain fell completely out the side of my ears right now. I'm sorry. Where am I, child? I got new glasses and I still can't see. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. So they're at drinky drinks and they're pretty much like, yo, what the hell is that? Why you can't just get over this shit? And then was like, Valeria was the least talented out of all of us, and she's still the only one with any fame. Like, that's not fair. That's not right. And she took my man. The nerve of that bitch. And the nerve of her, indeed, girl. And I think this is really something that the show is touching on, but not outright saying, is how the racially ambiguous, the light-skinned girl, back especially in the girl group days, whether she was talented or not, was always pushed to the forefront. Always got the looks, the perfumes, the this, the that. It's the dream girls, the Supremes thing going on there. And we see it in, and it's funny that this show comes out after we watched the encore, because Valeria is very much an Irish. Leave it at that. And so the girls say, that's when Brianna lets the girls know, like, yo, my man is cheating on me. And they're like, girl, he still got his dick. Like, how? Girl, you can go find Professor Sex and get your fears back, because who is this woman? We don't know you. This is not my friend. My friend won't let no man do this to her like that. That's not my friend. That's not who I know. Go find Professor Sex, Brianna. Go find Professor Sex. And she does. Later on we see, we'll get to later on, because later on, that scene right there, ooh, that thing got out, y'all, ooh, we gonna get to it. Let me calm my blood, child, because I'm about to lose my space all over again. So then we see Naomi, she goes sees Eric at the bar, and I'm like, girl, don't do it. Don't let that man, don't do it. And she do it. They go have sex, child. Just, women, we gotta do better. We gotta stop letting men just run us ragged like this. Oof, child. And then we see Valeria get caught. And she has to step down, and she's like, shit, what do I do now? So she runs back, tail between her legs, to the group, and she's like, yo, I'll do it. And that's when Naomi gets the Google alert that bitch ain't got no job no more, so yeah, she gonna come do this, because she ain't got much of a choice now, does she? She want that 50 grand. And so we see, they're like, well, how we gonna get this together? We got 4 days, and we washed up. What we gonna do? So we see them working hard. They do a cipher with Muffins. It's dope. The cipher was really good. I think the verses from Naturi and Nadia in the cipher were better and better delivered than the ones for Nasty Girl, personally. Muffins' verse was super dope. I have to go see who's the actress playing Muffins, and if she actually does rap herself, because I liked her sound. So yeah. And so at the end of the cipher, Brianna's husband walks in and he's like, babe, I got cancer. And y'all, this is the scene I was waiting for. How fucking dare he? Like, when Brianna said that shit, I was so right. I was right there with her. How dare you? You know how selfish shit is? You know how selfish you have to be to cheat on me and then get cancer? So I can't even be mad. I can't even just hurry up and get the divorce done. I gotta be compassionate because we got kids? I can't have none. Like, I was so impressed. And then when they get to the house And that man tried to blame his cheating on the cancer. If she had stabbed that man with a steak knife, she would have been justified. What you mean it's the cancer got you cheating on me? Boy, I cut that cancer right out of you. I cut it right out, right now. That was so crazy. That was when she looked and she said, "I'm gonna do everything I can for you to get better, and then leave you." I said, "No, that's right. I know that's right." She better not go back to his ass. I swear to God. So later on, we see Muffins and Jill are in the bathroom, and and Muffin's real name is Lauren. This is when we learn this, and I'm going to try and call her Lauren because there's a message that the show is trying to convey about who a person is and the artist persona, and making sure that there's a separation between the two, but also that you don't let that persona drift too far away from who you actually are. I think it's a really important message that the show is trying to convey. Lawrence was saying, like, no one cares about me. Everyone cares about what I can do for them. They care about the fact that I'm making them money. Well, no one cares about me. And we see that Jill feels some type of connection to this girl, especially when the girl brings out the coke, because, as we have learned, Jill used to have a coke problem. But we're really proud of Jill that Jill says no to the coke, because I was like, ooh, girl, just like this is gonna be a moment that's gonna let us know how the show kind of where it's going. And there's something I'm gonna come back to about some of the inspirations I think the show is pulling from. I'll get to that at the end. So then we get an overdose scene where most of the girls, everyone I think except for Brianna, goes to Muffin's house for dinner to hang out with her, and they find her overdosing, and they save her life. And they're in the hospital, and the white guy comes in, and he's like, "How dare you have her in this basic hospital? Like, she's leaving now." I'm like, "No, she's not. She's gonna be here until she gets properly discharged, and then she needs to go to rehab." And he's like, "Nah, she ain't going to no rehab. She got performance. She got to do BTA." They're like, "She's not up for that." And so the white guy's just being a dick. It's really the only nice word to use. And Jill slaps the shit out of him. Jill, that is my favorite. I think Jill said, "Turn the other cheek," and he did, and she hit the other cheek. Okay, she said, "Ow, ow." That's probably what he said, but ow, I hurt myself. And so then we see, the girls are all together, and Jill and Naomi get to arguing, and it leads to Jill coming out, and all the girls are super supportive, and they're like, "So what do we do? We're family. Like, even if we don't get to perform, we're family." And then Muffin and Eric walk in. Muffin's like, "Yo, I gotta go up on that stage, but I'm not doing it without y'all." And so it's so beautiful, really, really beautiful. We then go through. Brandy starts singing her song. We then go through like a little montage of the girls kind of going through what they're going through in their life. And Muffin, we get to BT Awards, and Muffin is on stage looking beautiful, and she says, "I've always dreamt of closing out this show. And I never knew anything about the nasty bitches, and now I do, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So I want to give them the stage by themselves because they earned it." And so the girls get out and they perform, and they do an amazing job, just beautiful job. The white guy is thug because he's like, "What the fuck? Like, they got me, like they tricked me." I hope we don't really see much of him again. And at the end, we see that 6 months later, the girls are now going on a world tour with Lil Muffin, Lauren, as the group queens. They're no longer nasty bitches. They're queens. Let me rephrase that. It's not that they're no longer nasty bitches. They were never nasty bitches. Men made them call themselves nasty bitches. And now they're claiming who they are for themselves and making this of themselves, doing it their way for them. And I love it. And I really, really want to see with how Jill was advocating for Lauren. I really want to see her character arc include her going behind the scenes of the industry and working in the business side to really manage women so that women are protected and advocated for, and they're not getting stolen from by these trash ass men. And then we see, they're going on tour. Lauren has come out of rehab, and they do a callback to a line early in the show where they say, so mom, a washed up musician, a disgraced TV host, a lesbian church lady, and a young rapper fresh out of rehab going on a world tour. Cool. And I love that. I loved it. And I want to, remember I said I wanted to pull back for some of the inspiration. Because when it comes to the colorism thing that I was speaking about, I think Naturi can so well speak to that because of her experiences in 3LW. I actually think the women who are playing these characters have a lot to say about the messages and the stories that the show is telling because of their own personal experiences. And I would love to see maybe a special episode before the season finale where the women are talking about their own experiences and comparing them to the experiences of the characters in the show. I think that would be really, really beautiful. I think it would give true justice to these women's stories. So yeah. Another thing is, I felt like they were pulling somewhat from Megan Thee Stallion. For Muffin, Lauren's character, the thing about like no one cares, everyone's just here to be in my pocket. I think we've seen Meg express some of that publicly, especially as far as this whole Carl Crawford thing. We see that, like, so I think that's something that that they maybe have pulled from a little inspiration there from Meg. Also, I think the girl kind of just looks like Meg. Like, they share the same, like, phenotypes. The texture of hair, the color of the skin. Something, it just really reminds me of Meg, or maybe the actress is pulling from Meg, and maybe that's why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. And then also, the thing with the overdose, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was a period of time in which people were really concerned about Meg's drinking. We were like, this is, and we don't see it anymore. I don't know if it's just she's not doing it anymore, or we're just not seeing it anymore from Meg. But I felt like that may have that might be another place where we're seeing that influence. Because people are like, oh, she's just partying, and Jill's like, partying doesn't land you in the hospital. So it's just certain things on this show that I'm wondering where the inspiration is coming from. I'm wondering if we're pulling from stories from the cast's own experiences, and so I would love all of that to come out, all that to be talked about in full from the showrunners and the cast themselves. So yeah, y'all, that was my little recap review of the series premiere of Queens. I love it, and I will definitely be back next week to talk to you guys about the mom, the washed-up musician, a disgraced TV host, the lesbian church lady, and of course, our favorite young rapper fresh out of rehab and their world tour. Love you guys. Thank you again for watching. If you did not subscribe earlier, you better find that button. It's up, down, left, right. It's somewhere. Go ahead and click it for me, please, and thank you. Have a great day. Bye.